Okay, so I finally got around to doing this. I know I cut my hand real bad, and then so I was kind of not wanting to do reviews for a while. Meanwhile, I got the Drop Bear, and I thought, wow, that is cool because it's an adjustable access lock type knife, and they've got entry here and here. So it's not like some of the knives that have omega springs, where there's a logo here, so you got to take it apart from there. Well, when you reassemble and you've got an omega spring on the front and the back, it makes it a little tricky to try and drop this through and do all your pivot reassembly when you've got to have this bar put back through. I mean, I know it's difficult to explain in a way, but if you've ever disassembled and reassembled, easy to disassemble, but reassembly can be a pain in the ass, okay? But I saw a little video that Kizer put out about this Drop Bear. Is this Azo? Yeah, Azo design, okay? Well, he's their main guy, and not that they don't do a lot of collaboratives, they do, but this is interesting. You can also get it in this color, and you can wipe the blade off and it'll look a lot better. How about that? Lazy? Lazy LTK. Okay, there it is. Now it's still, okay, never mind. Just to hell with it. But the Drop Bear, 154 cm. They're doing a lot in 154 cm. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that on a Vanguard series knife. Here's what this sucker says. This is the aluminum steel liner, blah blah blah, and then the box for the dark colored one is black BK. It says in that description, but it's a 3-inch blade. What is it overall? Hold on. There's my tape measure. 3 and the 7 probably. There's 3, so like 77, 78 millimeter blade. Yeah, a little over 7 inches. 7 and an 8 at 18 centimeters. Okay. And this has got purple on the ambidextrous thumb studs. It's got jimping on top here. Fit and finish is fine on Kizer knives, and this is super fidget friendly. Also, kick it open. I think this is going to be a pretty popular model. That's what I think. And this one is gray, which is kind of cool. And I don't tend to favor a black blade, so actually, I could put no. I think yeah, I do favor this one. I like kind of like the gray with this, but you know what? This is not bad, and that purple really pops on that thing. But it looks like a number 6 right there, and you can take that thumb stud off. So you could trade them out. You could do some different things if you want to there. Now, let's put this on the scale and see what it weighs. But I mean, this is adjustable, and I'm going to show you here because I'm going to pop this scale off. There's different, okay, where the omega spring plugs in to have, its tension that you get, like you develop when, you're doing this, right? You're pulling this back and forth. You see how that track goes down there, and see the little holes there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can adjust it. It's got multiple holes, so you can change the tension on the spring. And you could make it different from one side to the other in case you pull on one side or the other, and that's the way you execute the open close on the thing. 3.69 ounces, 104.6 grams, okay? So that is fascinating. Now, ergos, they're fine. Deep carry pocket clip, left and right hand side, plus you got flat screws here, and this is the pocket clip I like. Okay, comes up, but then it flattens out right here. Okay, this is good in and out of the pocket, and the flat screws, they get out of your way. Now, it's not machined in to where the bottom of that clip is flush with the scale. I get that, but I get that. You know, they don't do that when they make it, you know, ambidextrous here. Um, no backspacer, so you do have a lanyard hole, but it's not tubed. And then you have these standoffs here. Looks like steel liners. And where'd I throw my deal? Ooh, yeah, those are steel liners, all right. With lunium, I think that's a lunium, um, outer scales. Okay, that's not G10. Okay, and by the way, I actually have paperwork on it. The Drop Bear clutch lock. It's a clutch lock. I'm sorry. 119. But and let me see, where was I pulled it up on. So White Mountain, of course, 119 as well. So I mean, I don't have a 10% discount code for the Kizer site, but I do for White Mountain. So all coming out of the same pot, but you know, there's about $12 off here. Okay. And here's your stats. You know, as we saw earlier, 3.68, 154 cm. And of course, this is off the Kizer site. And I'll give you a link to the Kizer site. Also, give you a link to the White Mountain site so you can check them out. Super fidget friendly. Oh, you know what? Let's get a piece of paper out here and just kind of check factory sharpness. Okay. It's okay. I mean, okay. Let me see if we. This one's better. This one's better. I'm sure they vary, but you know what? This one is definitely noticeably sharper than this one, but not like the same guy did it, right? So you're going to have varying degrees of sharpness. Yeah, I can tell the difference between that two. That's interesting to get a couple of them because then you can tell. But you can tune up the edge, but this one's actually a little bit, or it feels sharper out of the box. And they come in this box here, and I guess it's worth taking a look real quick. I mean, this could be important to you. I've been into so many of them, but here you go. You get an extra set of Omega springs, and see the way they are. You have a right one and a left one because the spring takes a left turn or a right turn depending on which side of the knife it's on. Okay, and then you've got screws. So you got screws and you got Omega springs, and the Omega springs are particular to the left side or the right side. So you need a pair of them if you're going to have a replacement set. So yes, that's nice that they give that to you as well. Thickness, 12.6 millimeter, 0.49, pretty slender, kind of standard-ish. 0.10, so what? 2.7 millimeter, under 3 millimeter thickness on the blade stock. So, I mean, ergos are fine on here. It's super fidget friendly. You can kick it open thumb stud. You can kick it open middle finger. Do whatever you want. And it's centered. And this one is centered as well. Can you do this? Yeah. I mean, they're, what are they? Clutch lock? Okay, I'm gonna keep saying axis lock, but okay, clutch lock, whatever. But yeah, I mean, kind of an interesting blade shape. This is kind of nice, nice change up here. But you could still do some piercing, definitely slicing. Yeah, good looking overall design. A little bit of a break here between where this goes in to the bolster. Blade to handle length, well, you're like that. Yeah, close enough. And you can see why that break is there because that's where your stop is. It's farther forward because you have the clutch lock back here. So you can't set that pin back as far as you might. And had you been able to do that, you could have closed the gap right in here. But it's nothing to really be too concerned about. I'm not going to freak out about that. It's a Vanguard, it's a user, it's interesting in that regard. Well, let's do this, and let me see what we got for hardware. Okay, um, yeah, let's just do this. Let's just pop this front off, so you can get kind of an idea what's going on under here with this adjustable clutch lock system. And am I going to be able to do it like this? Yeah, okay, yeah, I can. They just had a little bit of thread locker in there. Okay, I get you. This should pop off here, see? And you've got weight relieving, but this is aluminum and it ain't going nowhere from there. Hold on. Yeah, there's no magnetism there. Okay. Underneath, steel. Okay. Now, see that? So you can just pop it out of that, and you can pop it out of this hole if you want. And if I had a pair of like needle nose pliers, you could pop it out of number 1, put it into number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So you can change the amount of tension on that. Actually, the way it is, I'm fine with the way it's set up. And really, to tell you the truth, and I don't want to go into this, but I'll be interested in seeing comments from guys out there as to whether this really, if you go to the number 5 on both sides instead of this number 1 right here, whether you can really, it's a significant feel or change in feeling. I don't know. I don't know that that is. Okay, now let me see if I can push this forward. And okay, so you can see on the right side, the presentation side, this turns in. So on the left side, see, that's got to turn the other way. This hook has got to point that way to go into that side. So they are particular to front or back side. And then, yes, if I wanted to take the other part down, then you would see, and let me see if okay, hold on. Okay, so there's the screw on the other side. And I think when I watched that Kizer video that they did, it's interesting because, yeah, you've got screws on both sides. So you leave the pivot right in the center. And, okay. And that's that. And these are the little, and you got to take the pocket clip out. Okay. Like this and this. Because if you don't remove the pocket clip, okay, and they're the same length, okay, then you can't get to this screw here, this body screw. And you got to take that body screw, okay, right there. Now, you can take this cover off too. Okay. Got to get it popped off somehow. There you go. There's the there's the backside. This is the what you would call the lock side, but it's not. But oh well. And see, there's the Omega spring here. And so that is particular to this side. And let me kick that off just like that. And bring this around. And let's see if we can push this off of here. Okay, so there's the backside spring. Okay, now you can pull this pin through, okay, That's what you got to do. And now we should be able, oh, we got a screw on the inside, okay? So we got an inside screw. Okay, let's push this body screw, and I wonder if this is the same size. Looks like it. I was just going to take a look at the bearings if I could get this liner all the way off. Come on. Okay. There we go. So we got ceramic bearings. And here you go, all the way through. All right. And there's ceramic bearings on that side. And there's your pivot tube, and it's squared off front and back, so it's not going to turn when you unscrew your pivot screws from the front or the back, which is nice to know. So let's just put our bearings back on here. Okay, and let's put our blade back on here. And let me look where we got on. Oh, okay, I see where I was looking for my blade stop that was supposed to go in here, but it's stuck in this liner, and that's fine. From the front side. Okay, now, bearings again. This won't be probably so tough to reassemble because you can do this. You can, not this, I'm sorry. You can do this. And let's put our pin, should go both sides, okay, like here. And our standoff is there still, okay? And we haven't lost a standoff. Yes, we have. We have lost a standoff. Okay. And we had this little dog screwed in. What do we got on the inside of this? Okay, so we've got that machined out to cover for this. Okay, and then this is an outside screw on the body. Okay, start forgetting before we get too far. But now we got to put this bar back through. Okay, while we can, and then this has got to get reconnected to the omega springs. See what I'm saying? Like this. And then, yeah, we could change where we have this set. So let's do it in the third hole here. So let's do this one the same way, or you could do it in a different, position if you want, depending on how, you open and close your knife. And let's push this through. Come on. Let's get set. There you go. And okay, now in the third, there's in the fifth hole. So I'm just going to slide it forward, and there it is in the third hole. Rather be lucky than good, huh? And then these are our pivot. These are our body screws. So this makes it a lot easier to be able to assemble and disassemble a clutch lock. I mean axis lock. I mean clutch lock knife. Right? So you got ceramic bearings. Everything floats free. Looks good. Oh, by the way, we got to throw our body screw in here before we put our pocket clip back on. So that kicks down, and then these two go in here. Okay. And then or you can flip the clip if you're a lefty, right? So you can do that. See what we got? We're good here. We're centered there. Now we put the top right back on, and we got a body screw, and we got a pivot screw. And let's stand this up. Okay, we're good. I can still feel that it's engaging some of that Loctite or thread locker that was on there before. And got number 6. These are number 6. It's kind of funny. Kizer bounces around from number 6, number 8 body screws. I don't know if they do what the designer calls for or whatever, but and we're good. Now, is there any like play back? No, there's no play, but it super fidget drop shutty, and it's centered. So it turned out really well. All right, we've got the Drop Bear in black and in that gunmetal gray. Either way, interesting clutch lock adjustable system. Plus, it's so much easier to disassemble and reassemble than the standard axis lock knives that I have messed with. And you can put your 2 cents worth in as far as that goes. I have fidgeted and fought with these axis lock knives. But this one, since it's open from both sides, because they have a pivot that is squared off, but these are both screws. So the pivot stays there. Take the side, pop the Omega springs. See, it's different than if you have a one-piece pivot with just a logo on it and a screw on the back. That becomes more difficult for assembly or for reassembly than this does. So this makes sense. I'm going to leave you to it. Thank you so much, boys. Subscribe to my channel because we love them knives. So you guys stay sharp.